two sides of the same story. Written by Christoph Grant. And I want to say, Christoph Grant, you're a talented brother.
The sunrise is slowly over the hill. Everywhere is gold and sunlight, but
Well, you share the video now, man. It's Friday night.
most nights with hotels are crowded. There is the doctors are shrouded. They don't smile and they never will. Only vultures that fulfill empty promises is what they get. No running water from year to year. Hearts that no one desire. That if there is a Messiah, someday there's no Christmas prayer. The brother is bare and scanty, 10 people in a one-bedroom shanty. Boston said on the pavement, no vacancy, no employment. Get a firecracker from gunshot. Let us go and things get hot. Afraid to look out the window, so your voice is strong. I hear you sing the chorus. Yeah. Oh, oh. Crying, crying, they're crying. Yeah.
I have at least one visually impaired follower. She asked me, please, Mr. Alexander, say the date, Friday, November 19th. Say the time, 9:03. It is 9:03, Friday, November 19th for you, ma'am. I'll try to remember for every show.
Mothers just hold their head on border. And them woman stronger than a wall. A big pusher iron your daughter.
Son in jail for manslaughter.
Too bad for you, you them rat boys. No name, that's the black man shine. Like Shadow say,
Poverty is
hell. Your little girl child belly start to swear. Some say life is a cycle, but don't draw she no circle. Now will it all end, don't I could tell. Outside the silent keep howling. Inside your belly will bowling. For this way very often. Since you mentioned a coffee one night. In bed you're sleeping. Next night is a way that you're keeping. So you pray to win the lotto. After you hear what you're doing. I hear you. You're still crying. Yeah. Crying. Yeah, crying. 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 Yeah. With tension, pride, they soldier on. Revolution, made collections born. And often their tragic story.
with your journalist glory.
No wonder they really hold with scorn. Since the day they born, some call them rebels without a cause. These social victims of unjust laws. But yet they christen the heroes. Renegades, desperados, forever knocking on heaven's door. Damn it! Steel and music shatters the silence. I'm on it to conquer the violence. Big men run when clubs approach. Fighting for scraps with the cockroach. Young thugs, they're tough protected. Almost every young girl expected. Go tomorrow, this is all we have. Let me another child. So crying, 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 yeah, crying, crying, yeah. the crack or smoke me pipe. Start to out to take some breath. Life just rip, take the cheer, ride. Till there's only bitterness left inside. And every day is a hustle. Arguments are settled with muscle. Till you're 6 feet deep by 3 feet wide. Watch. Children, should life keep on drifting? Something they're smoking or sniffing. Maybe they're trying to forget this life of misery and regret. No one to come to the rescue except Captain John and Buju. So they boom boxes the Lego. The drum voices in there to the crying. They're still crying. They're crying and they're crying. Crying and they're crying. Yeah, yeah. Voices from the ghetto. Crying. 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 Yeah. Voices from the ghetto. Thank you.
This one is for all the fighters, all the activists, all those who are out here for a better country. This is for the members of the Citizens Union and the Progressive Empowerment Party.
The taller I become,
Hear them lyrics.
the farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away.
Cause there is
No matter, cause there's
something inside so strong. I know that I can take it.
though you're doing me wrong, so wrong.
You thought that my pride was gone.
Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
Let me get on into the meat of the matter. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago and the wider world. Good evening to the people in the space station. Good evening to people, anybody on Mars, Venus, Pluto, anybody that gets us now or in the future, to all the intelligent people that exist in the universe that may somehow find us and listen to us. Good evening. Again, I want to say the things that touch me are things like when I remembered, because she didn't remind me tonight, when I remembered, she wrote me, "Good evening, sir, visually impaired girl. I have a request. When you're doing live, can you speak the date and time? I don't know if you were on last night. I searched and searched and all started the same way. Thank you." I said, "Will do." So tonight I remembered. Not that she reminded me tonight, because that was days ago. And I said the date and time. And she messaged me, "Good night, sir. Thank you very, very much. Appreciated." You all don't know how things like those things matter to me. So let me get down to the meat of the matter. Let me get down to the meat of the matter. The whole media today, I'm getting all kind of messages about burnout and the ICU beds and the hospital beds. Of course, they're at 100%. They were at 100% before the pandemic. Trinidad had 100% before the pandemic. Hear me? We never had enough hospital bed in this country. Ever. Ever. It was at 100% before the pandemic. So don't let them fool you. Don't let them come now and try to make you feel that somehow this have anything to do with any pandemic. It doesn't. Hear this. These are the things that are happening. Have a good night. Got your number from a friend. She said that you help people in situations. I'm trying to come out of a domestic violence situation and really need some help financially or food-wise or anything. I would be thankful. On a daily basis, I am cleaning up after this shit-hung government. Now there are people who are watching this and saying, boyfriend, she went in she own violence. And that is why our country fails. Because we don't understand that there go I, but for the grace of God. All of us, each and every one of us in this country, every man jack, could face the wolf. You never know. You could never know. I keep telling you all and you don't know. There are people outside there selling barbecue tickets to raise money for surgery and procedure that they thought they was rich. We rich. We have money. You live in a big house in Bayshore. Wife driving German. You driving French. And then Sinclair Medical Center tell you, because you're in a business for yourself and you don't have insurance, let me break down the numbers for you so we could work out how we could save your life here, because it's free. Now you could go public health and wait 10 years. Today somebody reached out to me. And we have a group in the Citizens Union called the Cabinet. Well, it's not just in the Citizens Union. It's all of the organizations. We have a Cabinet, Jericho Project, Citizens Union, Progressive Empowerment Party, Victoria Foods, Grab and Go, Cut Legal, Cut Housing, Business Affiliates. We have a Cabinet now. The Cabinet meets once a month, well, once a week. It'll be meeting once a month soon. My cut number is, it is out of desperation. Gynecologist suspect I've got cancer without a biopsy. He suggested I do certain procedures that I cannot afford to do. He told me to make up half and he'll do it and pay later. I asked how much is half. He said the cost would be 9 something, which means 9,000. Time is of the essence for me. The place I went is private hospital named. Public healthcare is not nice, especially now. Now, cancer will kill you before they get a chance to touch you. It's stunt after stunt in public health, St. James. If you cut off your finger tonight, go and get crazy glue and stick it on. Don't try to go St. James Health Center. I just get a WhatsApp from nurses inside of there. They tell me, brother, it's insane. And we're touching on that tonight. I'm not on any type of government relief, and I'm not the type to get help. I've always supported myself, never asked for anything. But today, I'm begging you for some sort of assistance. Please, I need this to be done. Thank you for lending an ear. Sometimes people reach out to me, and sometimes all they want is for me to listen, you know, because they feel it might be 1,000,000 to 1, but they hear Phillip is work magic. And Phillip might work a magic for me. So they don't understand why I say WhatsApp it to me. Because the phone doesn't stop. The phone doesn't stop. And I understand. But if you send it as a WhatsApp, all those organizations I just called, Jericho Project, Cabinet, Cut Legal, whatever, PEP, the business affiliates, there is a group and a team and people in this organization for every manner of issue. If you WhatsApp it to me, I copy and paste, so I screenshot and forward to the right person, and I get back noted. And that means it be in action. That means it be in action. inside the cabinet, I share that. And all the leaders of all the departments start to talk. And then the head, also in the cabinet, the head of the overseas chapters, America, Canada, and Denise Xavier. This one resonated with her. So she got involved. And she called Felicia while I was in the boardroom to give Felicia advice to give the lady. And I said to her, reach out to the lady directly. And within a couple hours, I got this back. I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Alexander and all those who are involved, CUT team. This morning, I related my problem to Mr. Alexander. Over 3 weeks, my problem is on. Within hours, I got a response when I related it to him. Imagine I left it as a last resort, and lo and behold, Mr. Alexander took up my case. And I'm happy with what I'm hearing and about to do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Glad to be part of the Citizens Union family. Now, I am the point of contact. Make no mistake, Denise Xavier is the one that deserves all the credit. It's the CUT team and the Citizens Union team, the cabinet, the group. We had to get a name because we had to call it the cabinet for now because it represents different organizations that together we all operate. So that's why when I hear, when I read Facebook posters, haters and detractors, gainers talk, I think to myself, you know what you should do? You should bring these people and let them sit down in a cabinet meeting and hear what we do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Let them hear. Let them hear where these jerseys come from. Let them hear what it means. Why this cup exists. And why there is somebody in charge of merchandise. This show, media, CUT Media, headed by Satish Ramsaran. Merchandise is headed by Jennifer Mohammed. Legal is headed by Ian Griffith and a team of about 12 lawyers. So when I hear them talk and parrot our words and pass themselves off as us, and somebody write me tonight and say, how everybody want to be like you, so your name is Mike? My partner Lesaldo. He said, you's Mike? How everybody want to be like you? It's not like me. They want to be like my team. They want to be like this crew. They want to be like Felicia Holder. Felicia Holder as a second in command. Let me tell you something, We launch this party January 18, 2017. I have been a social activist since 1993. I became a social and political activist 16 years later. And then in 2018, after millions of words written and countless hours on TV and radio, I met repeatedly with two guys, Harry Hunt and Ian Griffith, who for the most part never really got along, had contradictory views on a lot of things, but where we all united is that we wanted a better country. Anne-Marie Dulal, who was somebody else that I was always politically friendly with and whose mind I respected. She had a beautiful political mind. She still does. She is someone that, I remember Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith crossed swords with Anne-Marie Dulal. And they went at it on social media. This was before he was Commissioner of Police. They went at it over an issue with Faris Charan and the guns. And they went at it for 3 days. Non-stop. Gary called me on the phone. He asked me, who is this woman? and I remember a couple others. But the foursome that begat, and we had one man of business, Kaifa Michael Modest. Kaifa grew up in my house, my son's best friend, like my son's brother. He's like, if I have two sons, Kaifa is one. But Kaifa has been a go-to, get-it-done guy. I mean, his right and proper father trained him well. And Kaifa got things done. And Kaifa was a guy who we relied on to get a lot of stuff done, to get the Progressive Empowerment Party launched. And I remember January 18, 2017, we launched in our office as a political party. We launched with an office at 19 Stanmore Avenue, Port of Spain. We launched with a manifesto, a sneak peek into our manifesto that went on to become famous, 21 policies. Because the manifesto is about 100 items, and I kept saying that. But a lot of people have only ever seen 21 policies. Because so powerful those policies were. They solved so many things on a national level that there were political pundits who said, if you solve 5 of those things, Trinidad is a first world nation. And we could talk about those tonight. Some of them maybe, no problem. And I remember we launched that night. And Lima McLeod Wilkinson, who is still a deputy political leader in this organization. Hear me? There are plenty just comes in the political arena that want to get these people to talk. And they ain't know how long these people outside here fighting in the trenches, working in the vineyards. Lima McLeod Wilkinson was a strong political voice. I called on the phone and I said, Lima, we're doing this, you know. Because we've talked for years about if we're doing politics, if we actually forming a party. Lima said, tell me the day, tell me the time. I met her husband that night, Johnny, and he was in awe of his wife. I could see it in his face. And a couple other people, Saranabi made her political debut that night. And we had no real program. We knew we had strong voices. We had a podium that I got from Robert Amar. We still have it. We rented chairs. We rented some tables, some 6-foot Rubbermaid tables to make the head table. We had 2 banners printed for the Progressive Empowerment Party. We had brochures printed. The day before, January 17th, was my birthday. And me and Kaifa spent my birthday in customs, in Piaco, trying to clear PEP t-shirts. We launched in our own office with printed policy brochures, with banner backdrops declaring the name of the organization, wearing PEP shirts. And the reason for me to say that is so you understand that it's easy to pick 3 letters and declare yourself a party, write the EBC. Unless they have somebody else with a similar symbol or a similar name, they have to tell you yes. So it's easy to do that part. And we have done that part as well. It's easy to do that part. The rest of what I just told you, your logos, Kendall Baggy with us from the start. Your logos, your brand, understanding what it means, understanding what your symbol means, picking a name, a symbol, even the colors, and having everything flow one into the other. And we can talk that too. All of that is our reality. This was never a pelter stone. This was never, I don't know how much of you all ever go in, not fancy casino, public gamble in Trinidad, back room in bars and things. I learned to gamble. I learned to play poker. It don't exist anymore. It used to be upstairs, Western Main Road, called Ascot. And it was a real ghetto. And I learned to play cards in that room. And taxi driver, vagrant, all kind of people on that poker table. It don't matter. Once you have money, fall in. And I learned the term pelter stone. $20 is the buy-in. And as long as you have $20 and they have a seat on the table, Casa taking that $20. Now, if your hand win, they have all kind of bet take place, but you only have $20. You can't see them bet. But you in for the first $20. You have a royal flush. A man with 2 pair win the pot. But your royal flush is the best hand. You win 8 by $20 minus 10% for the castle. That $20 is a stone you pay. Those people I watch in my life come in there, throw down $20, win a hand, gone. You can throw down that $20 and lose that. And some of these people, $20, when it lost, they beg in the castle for passage to go back home. This wasn't a pelter stone. This was every Wednesday for 2-3 hours. Ian Griffith, Harry Hunt, Phillip Alexander, Anne-Marie Dulal met and strategized what became the Progressive Empowerment Party. And it quickly, all of the people, and I know that I'm forgetting some key people right now that jumped on board very early to make it happen. Some are still here. Some passed through like a dose of salts. Because everybody that show up when something happening to see what in it for them. You had to take people on face value. When people hug you and kiss you, Jesus didn't know what Judas was about. You had to just take them on face value, and life and time and will show them to be who they are. And I'm saying this to you again, every single person that ever came to us, that got their political blade sharpened, and went out and called my name to get likes and shares, to get notoriety, all you have to check is what have they accomplished since. I can tell you what we've accomplished since, and it's massive. 2017, January 18, we had advertised only on social media the advent of a new political party. You don't launch a party in Carnival, boy. Phillip is a madman. That yard, 200 chairs, packed, and people all down the driveway, people in the road, blocking the road, all on the pavement. Police had to come and guide traffic. Man faint, ambulance had to come. The launch of the Progressive Empowerment Party, a real political movement. Now, I'm not telling you we didn't know going in that this is a country divided by race and where bullshit sells faster than biscuit cake. I know. But we have to try. We have an obligation to try. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, all of them are remembered for the successes of their tribe. Susan B. Anthony, who got the vote for women. All of them are remembered for the success of their tribe, but there are other people before them who cut the road they walk. Rosa Parks wasn't the first woman to refuse to get up on that chair. Other people cut our road, and you have to also remember them. And I thought, and I used to keep saying, I say, I don't mind if I am not Christ in this analogy. I don't mind if I am John the Baptist. If my job is just to cut the road, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Anyway, mind. We run out of everything. I mean, packed. And then Ian Griffith, who's still a senior member of this organization, and he's the head of our legal department, opened the mic for anybody from the crowd. It became a trademark of the Progressive Empowerment Party that every Saturday, we had a meeting every single Saturday from that Saturday until COVID-19 shut it down. Every Saturday until the first lockdown in March, until the first no public gatherings thing. Was it March or April? I can't remember that, but I'll find out. But every single Saturday, Saturdays at Stanmore Avenue, plenty people get their political chops in those meetings. We had Saturday meetings, and then we had public meetings throughout the country. And we had our Saturday meeting, and then that night we had a public meeting somewhere in the country. We really worked this thing, you know. Anyway, that first night, January 18, 2017, when Ian Griffith opened the mic, I'm going somewhere with all this back road, you see I talking, you realize I was going somewhere, you know. And this short woman, about 5 foot tall, walk up to the podium, and everybody had to come and adjust the microphone so she could speak. And she spoke for, I don't know, about 10 minutes, if so long. And I leaned over to Ian Griffith and I said, we have to get her in this party. I found out after her name was Felicia Holder. She was going on vacation the next day. So she told me I could email her, but she's not into politics. So I emailed her while she was on holiday. And I asked her to come and join us. Because of the words, because of the way she phrased her contribution. Non-judgmental. Just the honest cry of a citizen wanting better. Not praising us. She didn't know us from Adam. She liked what she heard. She said that. I like what I'm hearing. By about the second week after she came back, and after much pestering and harassment from me, she came to a meeting on a Saturday. And by the second or third Saturday, she had involved herself in the conversation enough to make a suggestion that sounded like, and she made the suggestion to a room of rowdy men that couldn't sing in harmony. And she made us sing in harmony from that day. And from that day, she's been the chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I think with all my political aspirations, with all my knowledge and ability and courage and political sexiness and all the shit I talk, I mean, I have real drive. I have drive. I have line, length, and inclination. But if it wasn't for Felicia Holder, we never reached this far. She made it possible for all the dreams that we were dreaming to become a reality. And I do not give that girl the credit she deserves enough. And I really want to say tonight, she chairs that cabinet. All that 5 foot tall she is. There are plenty of people in the organization older than her. And she commands the room. And she deals with people throughout the country. She also is our head of finance, for all intents and purposes, our financial controller of every organization that makes up our organization. And I need to acknowledge her. And I need to say that there are people in this, along this mission, that without them, this and I and me and everything we accomplished could not have been accomplished. There have people who stubbornness, who ran up against her commitment And they lost because she knows what she's doing. And I have the greatest respect for her. And I keep saying to her, if something ever happened to me, all of this, you had to carry it on. So you better make sure you know what's going on in everything. I've had a few conversations with her mother. Some of you may not know, and I'm not trying to talk her business, but Felicia was born with one arm. And her mother said to me that for a short while, she was worried that her daughter would have a second-class life. But she quickly learned that child was always going to chart her own course. And to the point where you could joke with Felicia and you could take it for granted that she has two hands, because it's unbelievable that she has a handicap. It's ridiculous to consider it that. And she does bow with one hand, and plenty people who have two. She's brilliant. Somebody just said, you must bring them on, let us know them. She has started doing her own videos, 5 minutes with Felicia. We just need her to get a clock so that her 5 minutes with Felicia don't become 11 minutes and 49 seconds. She's going to get there. We have a brilliant team. When Ian Griffith comes to cabinet, he's a no-nonsense guy. He's like my brother. When it's time to talk business, in his 3 minutes, he has everything that they've accomplished in the last 7 days condensed to the point where very rarely are questions asked. Suggestions might be made. And he handles. I met Ian Griffith in a protest for Arbor School through Marshall Riley Walker. And I was, I guess, captivated by his strength. Now, there are some things about people you could tell who have leadership material quickly. You could tell the breeze don't blow them the way it's blow everybody else. They understand the breeze and how it works. I met Ian in a protest. I did my first one-man protest a couple months into the party's existence, outside the Sinclair office of the Prime Minister. And I stood by myself with a sign that says, keep Rowley, fire yourself. And that day I met two people that I was talking to before on social media, but I didn't know who they were. I met Dave Lux and Sean Sunarai. Both of them came to make sure I was safe. You had to respect that. It's easy now to talk the things we talk. People forget what it was like when we started talking. And the people that show up when you put yourself in harm's way, those are the people that you should remember as you walk. Dave Lux has been part of our organization from then. Strong voice. He's one of the few people that eerily thinks just like me. To the point where plenty of people still think he is me as a fake profile. Because he talks like me and he sees like me. There's another guy, Floyd Hernandez, who owns Harambe Studio. Sees sees the nucleus of the sun, sees where the reaction, where the chain reaction starts. Long before the talk and the responses and the reactions, he sees where it begins. Floyd Hernandez is one of those guys. I'd love to have Floyd as an advisor. I want to tell you, they have people. And Anne-Marie Doolal has been, she's been a pivotal force in this organization. She is, I guess, the archangel fighting the dragons. That's Anne-Marie Doolal. She will strap up and run in any fight. And she's come with strong facts. That's pissed people off. And she has conviction, boy. She will stay with you until you agree with her, agree to disagree with her, cuss her or block her. But she ain't going nowhere. So if you poke that gentleness, you better know where you're coming with. Anne-Marie Doolal. When I think of people, I think of people who made the decision to bet on us. Satish Ramsaran and Anthony Senanan are two people that chose to bet on us when we weren't a sure bet. Still not a sure bet. There's plenty work for this bet. But they are people of such unquestionable integrity that they can't give their support to things they don't believe in. And while they know that this is trying to climb a mountain cliff face first, they prefer to be a part of this where they have a voice and a say, and where they believe in the values of the organization, what we stand for, and what we're trying to do. You know, sometimes they message me and say, what is the name of tonight's show? And anything you want to be. But some days you know. And the name of tonight's show is Managing Expectations. And I didn't know why. Hearing the conversation, I tell people all the time, most of the times we have a conversation on this show, I am hearing what I am saying just like you for the first time. None of it is rehearsed. None of it is planned. And it goes down a path. We have some notes that we want to talk about, some issues that we want to raise. But ultimately, we start somewhere and we see where it takes us. And whatever is responsible for wherever we are, because I know how big we are. I'm not going to play bashful. I know we big. People see me and know me everywhere. And they don't just know me, like, to point at me. Long ago, I used to have that. For a while, every now and then, somebody would point at me, shoo kind of thing. Now, I get so accustomed. If I'm price smart, if I'm in the grocery, if I'm in the market, if I'm in the mall, if I'm in the road, and they see me and they run over and they want a hug and they pull out their phone, I don't know and I'm ready. They claim us. We're getting to a point where it could reach a critical mass. And at Andrea Barrett's first night of the candlelight, it wasn't even the candlelight movement then. It was just me lighting a candle. And a woman and her daughter watching in Chaguanas, the live video, watch each other and say, we have to go there and support. I met Esther Prince and her daughter Precious that night. Esther is a pastor. She's an apostle. And she's a powerhouse. She's the head now of our mobilization team for the Progressive Empowerment Party. And her daughter, Precious, is the manager of Victoria Foods Grab and Go. And we keep joking to Esther when we ask her, do you have any more children? Anything else like Precious? Because she is a complete And I worry that somebody gonna come along and offer her big money and take her because recommendation, reference letter in my life. I'll write one for Precious without blinking and sign my name big. In the brief time, in the months that I have known that girl, she's shown me, I mean, she's a powerhouse in her own right, but a calm and assertive soul. And she is important to what we do. And I would like, I guess, one day to just spend hours talking about these people, talking about Lima. I look at Lima long distance. Lima doesn't need handling. She doesn't need managing. She knows what we all are about. We are all on the same page. Very rarely do we have reason to question which way we go in. We don't do talking points really. You know, we keep saying we have to have communications and we have to make sure that we send talking points, because I know the UNC and the PNN, that once you have a public face in those parties, that they send you every single day talking points so you know what the party believes and what the leadership believes. But in this organization, there are people who speak for us. And those people, most of the times, are people who understand what we are about and have been committed for the long haul. And I also want to say, we had some good people that we lost. But there's a saying in the organization, teamwork makes the dream work. I sit as one member of the cabinet, and I am guided by the leadership of this organization. It's easy to say things about people when you're trying to make a mess. But you know what I realized? Just today I saw somebody who tried to make a mess for us has made such a huge mess for herself that people send me stuff about people that I forget. And they're having the same problems with other people. If you left this organization and you can't fit in with any other organization, you have to check yourself. And if you think that you can't fit in with any other organization because you're born to lead and you form an organization but it can't go nowhere, you have to check yourself. The one thing that leadership requires, besides understanding where you're trying to go, you need to have introspection. You need to have the ability, after you walk away from every day and all of the conversations that took place that day, and all the things you've said, and all the things you've heard, and all of the exchanges, you have to be able to look honestly at yourself and what you've done. And what I did today and what we've managed to accomplish today, what I've said, do I believe these words? Do I believe these words in my heart? Is this something I would fight to defend, as unfortunate as it is? And as long as the answer is yes to me, I can sleep well. And when the answer is no, I make a note to follow it up again. Sean Sunarine is the head of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, and he runs membership and the business affiliates program. Anne-Marie Dulal and Ian Griffith. Anne-Marie solves problems. Ian runs legal. We've built a team like a relay where people that are heavily invested in the organization take responsibility for things, and then when somebody fits, it almost clicks, and you know, right, that's taken care of. In my heart of hearts, I'd never make an enemy. in my heart of hearts, I'd never disagree with people. Plenty of people think they know me and they hear how combative my style is and argumentative sometimes, and people might think that that is my preferred stance. And it couldn't be further from the truth. 59 years, Eric Williams declared war on the people of Trinidad and Tobago in September 1st, 1962. We didn't realize it was a war, but a war was declared. And along the 59 years since then, other generals took up the fight and continued to fight war against the people. I know we're in a war. I know we're in a war, and I've told y'all, I've explained stuff to y'all like shock and awe, and how they do the things they do to fool you into thinking that what they're doing is right. We're in a war for the people of this country. And those who fail to stand up now in Adelon Brave Boys, Benjala's song, Bring It Back, he said, those who hear my message and playing dumb, many will pay in time to come. My mother used to say this, one day, Congote. And it makes no sense, but you understand what it means. And you understand that it means that night does run till day catch it, and that you could pretend, and you could hide, and you could lie, and you could rationalize, and you could make excuses. And then you come to me. There are people who receive my videos and my posts on WhatsApp every day, countless times a day. I've been there for months. I know what we do and how we build what we build, and they just waiting for the wolf to reach their door to come and ask for assistance, having never reached out to assist us while we assist others. And I watch those things because I have to. I realize my role, one of the stinkiest parts of my job is figuring out who really deserves help. There are some people who come at you, total stranger, that deserve help more than people who standing there by you for months, years, know how hard you're working to help others, doing nothing to help you do that, and then coming to tell you, I watching you every night, as if that helping with anything. I entertaining you. I have a problem with that. But if you're not helping us help others, who you think, what do you think is the magic source of the help? You think that we have some pitch lake of help in our backyard that we could just dig in every morning and pull out help for people? It is the continuous work of these people and many more, many more, that make it possible for us to help others. And it is disgraceful that you know what we do and you don't help us help, but when you're in trouble, come in for help. I'd like to help everybody. $100 million is spent every year from the president to the mayors. $100 million. And if I just had that $100 million, not even the $60 billion budget, just that $100 million, I can help everybody who come in for help. But we don't. So we sell these t-shirts, we sell these cups, we sell advertising on the shows. They send me on the show every night with a list that we call housekeeping. Don't forget to beg. Don't forget to beg for donations. We have things to do and we need help, financial and some urgency. So, Mr. Alexander, I have to make a donation. I don't know what's the name of your organization, but I have to make a donation. I say, okay, no problem. I'll put you on to Ms. Holder. He said, I'd like to send $1,000 to your organization and I need to do it today. I said, I'll put you on to Ms. Holder. He said, also, I don't know what's the name of your organization, but I need to join it. So sign me up to join it. So then I decided I will listen to this man talk some more. And then I realized what I suspected. That it is his wife who watches the show every day and told him, join and make a donation tomorrow. Yes, dear. 76 years old. Sweetest thing to happen for the longest while. Because you know, and to the women, and to all the women of Trinidad and Tobago, young, middle-aged, elderly, especially my golden girls, who have adopted us, who take care of us. Thank you very, very much. Every pillar in the church holds up the church. And our golden girls have been one of our strongest pillars. And they've believed in us from the start. And at that Saturday meeting when we were fresh, Jerome and Natalie's mom, Mrs. Stone, Maureen Stone, would organize and we'd get cake and we'd get sandwiches and somebody would pull up and drop 3 cases of water. And I'm telling you, in those days, at those times, it was tough times keeping the lights on, and it was the things that you needed, you would get as you needed, and it was always those golden girls sending somebody. So-and-so send me. So-and-so tell me you need something. What it is? It's been them. The housekeeping for tonight. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. If you're not yet a member, join the Citizens Union. Do not come to the Citizens Union. Do not WhatsApp me. Do not message me and say, I know that I'm supposed to join and I keep putting it off and I'm sorry, but I need to join right now because I have a problem. That's tick people off. They have a line of people trying to get help. You've been holding back. Don't hold back. Join. You know it works. It is your last resort. You know it works. You know that if shit hit the fan and you are the fan, you're calling Phillip. People telling you you're calling all over the place. They saying, boy, call Phillip. They will solve it. Them people just fix things for people. That's the reputation we have. Phillip will fix it. That became my campaign slogan in election for my constituency, for me. Phillip will fix it. People believe that. I get it done. And if you know that, help us help more. And all those more could help us help even more. So if ever it is you that need the help, help is here. CitizensUnionTT.org, CitizensUnionTT.com. Go and join and pay online and become a member of that team that has stood so strongly for so many people for an entire year. There are so many people who could tell you stories. Medical intervention, legal intervention, financial intervention, going into stopping the bank from taking your house. We have the minister sending people to walk up and down in the Beetham today, in the dump, in the Beetham dump, Milford and OSHA and everybody walking around the dump today. Because Philip Edward Alexander talking about the dump. Because the workers in the dump came to me, came to us. We said, we will stand with you, boss. We have no money. No, don't worry about that. We'll stand with you. Some people you have to stand with. And you have to give it to them because you see the level of sufferation. You see the injustice and the unfairness. And you know that you have a powerful voice and this is what it is for. So when I get in multiples of messages from inside Beetham Dump today to tell me the new CEO, Milford, and the rest of them walking around, measuring, checking, looking, because Philip busting mark after mark. I want a drone. I want a professional drone with a professional camera so that I could fly over Amalgamated Security into the dump and show you what they have Amalgamated getting paid to guard garbage. It's not guarding garbage. Amalgamated Security guards there with big guns to keep me out. Because it's only me going inside the dump. I went to the tip. You know the tip? The tip is where the garbage trucks tip. I stand up to my knees in garbage with them. And it's me they don't want inside of there. Nobody else going. They have not one single political activist in this country. Not one politician, not one political leader. They don't give a shit about them. People in Beatham got dead. Nobody care. The soil quality, the air quality, the water quality in a mile radius of the Beatham dump killing people. Our pancreatic cancer cluster right now is because of that dump. And if you do a soil quality test, and for the next 6 years, they can't make it go away, you know. They could try and disguise it. They could put some lipstick and rouge. They could put some dress and some pearls on that pig. But it will still be a well-dressed pig. And if you go and do a soil quality, air quality, and water quality test, and that is the next thing we're going to do. We're going to sue OSHA. We're going to sue the EMA. We're going to sue the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on behalf of every single... All we need is one claimant, and we have 5. We have people who lose their teeth, who lose they lose their life. The children there with us want to sue the government. They were entitled. They have people who right now on retirement from the dump, whose salary was 2013 salary when they retire. So they never get a raise. They never get their back pay. And they're fighting to get their little kakada, that is their retirement money. As they live out the last 2-3 years, they have to live. Because when you finish work to retirement age in the dump, you're looking like Methuselah. You look like 150. They just suck the life out of you. Today, they're going to walk around. I want to hear what's coming out of that. And I take pride. But it's not over. You have to clean that dump. You have to relocate those people who live in the Beatham and C-lots and put them in proper housing. Clean up that. And you have to, when you relocate those people, they have to get jobs. You built an entire dump on the premise of throw it in and crush it. Who one could take it? You know why? Listen. It is a shit show. But I'm proud that the Citizens Union was able to do that. And to the people in the Beatham, listen, no blackface politician who used blackface for your vote ever come and do for you what I do for you. I do that without the expectation of your vote. But not one politician, not one political leader, not a prime minister has ever had the decency and the respect. You know why? Because poor people in this country is be treated like dogs. They treat them like dogs. They use them when they need political mileage. They use them. But they treat poor people like dogs. And I want us to be the party of the poor people. I want us to be the poor people party. I want to come and fix it. I want to make sure everybody who wants a job could get a job, and everybody who have a job and want to own a home could own a home. And all this bullshit about regularizing squatters and regularizing squatters, regularize the blasted squatters. If they can't get where they are, relocate them. If they have adverse possession, put a valuation where they're living right now because they have a claim and an entitlement, and put them somewhere. And proper spatial planning. We're living on between 10 and 13% of the country. We need to open up Trinidad and Tobago. We need to build a next city or two. We need to open Trinidad and Tobago and create development spaces for business to grow, for industry to grow, for tourism to grow, but for people to grow. We need to build communities. All I notice, I see somebody write Happy Men's Day. All I notice, all the posts I write one Happy Men's Day. But I write Happy Women's Day every time. Because the women in this country make me proud, and the men in this country make me puke. The men in this country make me sick. It is the men in Trinidad and Tobago that let these bullshit artists get away with what they get away with. It is the men in this country that conspire to cut throats. It is the men. So when we stand up with our hands and our hips and we wiping on our forehead in shock when they find that somebody else's daughter mutilated, we're wondering how this happening. We don't see our hand in it. We don't see us as raindrops causing the flood. We talk a good talk. Men in Trinidad and Tobago should be ashamed. Because if it wasn't for us or our weakness, Trinidad would be strong. The men in Trinidad weak. Panty men. Bunch of panty men. Want to dress up in tight pants and go and interfere with people's girl children on the avenue. The men in Trinidad and Tobago should be ashamed of themselves. Have no decency, have no plan, have no integrity, have no morality, have no character. When your children look up to you, what they believe. I tell people, like, one of the greatest prides I have is that my son hates the fact that I'm incorruptible. Because my son is surrounded by people, children who drive in the most expensive and flying private jet to Vegas. And he knows thief money get him that. And he wished for a minute his father could insert us into those kind of billion-dollar lifestyle of the rich and famous, champagne dreams. And I am proud that he just get vexed with me that I wouldn't use not one of my political connections to feather my nest and better my life. Men in Trinidad and Tobago, what do your children see when they look at you? They come in to visit mommy as the outside man. What do they see? You stand up and raise your children. Oh shit, I had to listen to people talk. But I have been there. I put aside my whole former life when I became a father. Joshua Phillip Alexander, my son, that was my pivotal moment in life. October, I'm not give the boy birth date out, it's up to him. But it is his arrival that made me want, all of a sudden, like a madman, want to clean up the country, clean up the world, make things safe. I'm a child. And I understood what when Sting sang the song Russians, and he said that he didn't believe the world would end and there would ever be another world war if the Russians loved their children too. And I understood that. A real father will lay down his life without questioning it for his children. The men in Trinidad and Tobago allowed this country to become a shithole. And I want to tell you all something tonight. Men, we're managing expectations. Watch the women of this country and take an example. Watch them. Look at the women and what they do. I am proud when I sit on that cabinet table. Women in strong positions outnumber men. We just hired the first man to work Victoria Foods Grab and Go. All of the leadership built on women. Deputy Manager Indira Singh Awai. Let's make little jokes about her, call her midget, call her muppet. But when I know she there, I rest easy. Because I know her abilities. She's been with me for decades. She's with any man I know. And men should be ashamed. Honestly. We should. Should have no international mans. They bullshit for me. And no shave November and all this cockery. I never ever look out at the fraternity of men and say, here we are, standing strong like rocks, holding the community together. Small stones, little dick men form themselves into secret societies and lodges and Mason brotherhood and conspire to keep others from getting anywhere in life, from aspiring. Men in Trinidad and Tobago created all of the shit show. We dig the latrine pit. We mine the maggots. It is our fault. And don't try to deny it. Don't play for a minute. Right now, Avenue full of man. Smelling sweet. Pants tight all up in a crotch. COVID want to ride you back home by your family, but you're outside there because we need to party. set of freaking panty, man. And that's the problem in Trinidad. That is the problem right there. Set of men that get into government just a thief. There are set of businessmen, there are set of lawyers in this country who conspire, the contract mafias, men. Men. Weak little dick men who form gangs to take advantage of others. A real man upholds truth, justice, stands for something, protects the poor, defends the weak. That's what a real man does. We don't have that model in great quantities. When you listen to the men in our parliament, it's disgusting. It's shameful. It's embarrassing.
Tell me what they're fighting for. What they're killing for. We don't need no more. No, stop. Tell them wicked people. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, silly body when bad at all. No, another one just gone. By a big chest and smile, say you're a madman. Another young boy fall. Your soul can rest at night. Oh, you're a bad man. Bad man is a man who's different woman and protect the young ones by any means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. A real bad man that makes his own decisions. You don't need anyone. He only needs God. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. So, sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people. I'm wicked and evil. Oh, so, sit down, rock back. Big man, look for a walk. You're too damn evil. If they distress my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, silly boy when bad at
So you get my number to message me. We still waiting on salary grant since May 25th, 2021 and not one payment I got. We home for 14 weeks. What you doing about it? What you doing about it? We create a whole space, the Progressive Empowerment Party. We create a website, peptt.com. We create a join-in space, peptt.com/join. We make it free. We allow members to pay $5,000, $10,000 for your membership so you can come and sign up for free. Go on. What you doing? You talking, you're complaining, you're bitching, you're moaning. When you're coming on board to help, we need to build. March. We march. March my ass all here marching. No way. I walk from Marima by myself. Prove a point. I call nobody. You know why? When I went to light my candle, I call nobody. You know why? I don't trust that Trinidadian men have enough belly, balls, and backbone to stand up for anybody as the one-man protest. Because, oh, you can't get nobody. No, I can't. PNM have thief money and drug money to bring all you out. UNC have corrupt contractor money to bring all you out. All them big line you see following them two party. Not one of them. Not one. When you get the overhead shot in Eddie Hard ground, look at people. $25 million spent. $25 million. You ever heard the term rent a crowd? $25 million spent in Mid-Center Mall and in Eddie Hart ground. Bullshit. And all your men for sale to the highest bidder. Always the renter crowd numbers. Go in and get your jersey with your pants hanging down around your waist, and you're going to get a jersey to drag through town. Look, I get a 2 blues. I get a phone. Look, I get a sandwich and a juice. Men in this country are responsible for where this country is. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, when we look to the men, that's why if a real natural disaster hit this country, we shit. The politicians, the public servants, and the just average everyday man, full of shit. Women uphold this country. Women guide us. Now, not everything is all, and not all is absolute. They have a lot of good men, don't get me wrong. But all should be good, and all should be strong, and all men should be examples, especially to their sons. Men should be examples to their sons of what a man should be, and should be examples to their daughters, the kind of man to look for in life. That's what a man is. When a man becomes a parent, his life is no longer his. Not. I was a saga boy. I was a model. In my younger days, I was sought after. I was a poster boy. I had my times. I built nightclubs, plural. I was a saga boy. When a man becomes a parent, all are done. All. And we need to be examples to the children. And we need to be protectors of the elderly and the weak. Trinidad have too much poor people, too much weak people, too much hurting people. And all of it because us, as men, we let down the side. Don't forget Victoria Foods Grab and Go. We do delivery, 218 Food or 471-2888-38. 471-2888. 218 Food. And if you don't have it, and if you've not yet joined Victoria Foods Grab and Go, send a WhatsApp to 471-2888 now. And they'll add you and they give you a gentle reminder every day as to what is on the menu. So you could choose if you want to come into the store or come and get it curbside or call and have it delivered. I don't mind if men take what I say tonight personally, you know. I don't mind at all. But it's a wake-up call. Look around. Look around at what we sing about our men. I can't remember a calypso or a soca song elevating men and talking about men standing for a better country. It's almost like it's a myth. Everything in this country is a bacchanal. Everything is a look at me, a whine on me. All of us who have been given so much. There are people who are born into so much poverty. There are people who are born into so much lack, so much pain, so much suffering. We have so much. And if we were good and decent people, if this was a nation of good and decent people, Trinidad couldn't be a shithole. God gave us $3 trillion. So look, God gave Trinidad with both hands. He gave us the best country in the world to live. Best islands. The best 2 islands in the Caribbean, bar none, Trinidad and Tobago. Give us that. Give us blessings. Our cup runneth over. We have plural, not one, multiples of wonders of the world. The nylon pool, if it was in America, it would be a wonder of the world. The pitch lake, if it was in America, it would be a wonder of the world. We get multiples. She had the largest brain coral in the world, one of the best reef, the Bucco Reef. I mean, if it's still alive, we must kill it by now because that's us. My Uncle George, who does that jackass, who's follow me around on Facebook and talk all kind of shit. He gave me one good thing in my life. One good thing. Knowing George Alexander gave me one good thing. A saying, he was driving to pick up my father at the airport. I was his passenger. And he, for something, pissed him off. And he said, Trinidadians, if we can't eat it or we can't screw it, we just kill it. Yeah, like boy. That is we. That is Trinidad and Tobago. Look we. Let me manage expectations now. Let me pretend things okay. Other people to blame it. Courts fat with money. We spending money for all kind of shit, but not the right thing.
I visited Valley Chamber, witness an orchestra, a band, of only politicians. Well, rated their performance and style, talent and endurance, a band of parliamentarians. All the things that encourage hate, making good folks discriminate, bridges replaced by gates. No jarring racism, prejudice and tribalism, multiculturalism,
Mamagism.
from the UNC and the BNM, COPND.
That's a good man. Kurt Allen is a good man. He is a brilliant man. When you listen to the lyrics that he writes, he is second to none. He called himself the last Bajon of Calypso. He will never take a political side. And he is awash and immersed in corrupt Calypsonians. The majority of Calypsonians who qualify from Skinner Park to the big yard, just qualify because they're on a PNM ticket. And Tuko is PNM party group number 12. And then the whole big yard that night is to come and sing positive for the PNM and jam anybody else. You never notice how when PNM not in power, how all the songs just jam the government. And when PNM in power, all the songs are sing about flowers and trees and butterflies and unicorns. This jackass Dominic Calipasad who just jam anybody else who in government. When PNM there, talking about the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Look pictures of Frederick Street when Adam was a boy. That is hypocrisy. And I despise that. Kurt Allen is a real man, a good man. So if you want, I'll give you some examples of good men because Kurt Allen could have sold out, I am sure. Because there are plenty shittier Calypsonians than him, drawing fat salary, working for CPEP and WASA, and getting HTC contracts that I am aware of. Police, a police officer, at least one. Anyway, a better country. The business affiliates program. Today we signed up the gentleman whose wife twisted his ear and sent him to join. And I had to explain to him, and then I realized why everybody should be want to be a business affiliate. So I had to cut my hair and I signed up the hairdresser who was cutting my hair because I explained to her, it costs less than $2 a day to be a business affiliate member. In exchange, we send tens of thousands of our members to you. You get free advertising with me. You get recommendations from me. Only business affiliate members could advertise on these shows. We get millions of views. And only them could buy advertising with us. We make sure that it is only for our business affiliates. So, and I told the hairdresser today, I said, if we put your name in a catalog, if I mention to people that you are a business affiliate, and out of 3,000 people, 20 come your way, it pay back that money 100 times over. And she watches this show. She cut my hair very beautifully today. And a lot of people know her. She's brilliant. But the point is, if you're not in it, you can't win from it. And if you want to benefit from it in these times, 486-2888. Call that number and sign up. as a business affiliate member. We have a catalog, we have a website, we send out newsletters to members encouraging them to shop at the business affiliate members. Give them your support. And when they need workers, we look to the members to get employees, so that is one big growing family. It is a proof of concept of how the country should be run. And the Business Affiliates Program of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is one of the advantages and privileges. I was told again to remind you about the housing program. We are working to start building starter homes, and I can't wait to hand out that first house. I can't wait, because you know who I want to shut up? Every one of our detractors who can't build a sandcastle. But they're outside, they're talking and talking, taking all kind of chain up, or PNM and UNC money to attack us. They just pretend to be neutral, when the only neutral organization in the country is this one. Focused on all of the people. We don't care what party card you have. Just leave it behind and come across. peptt.com/join. It's free. It's 4 lines. Your name, your address, your phone number, your email address. Fill it out so we can contact you. That's all it is. And you're a member. We don't care who you're praying to. We don't care who you're lying down in the bed with at night. We don't care how tall, how short, what your texture, your hair texture is, what your skin color do. None of those things matter. What matters is a better Trinidad and Tobago and one people under one flag. If you're not yet a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, visit peptt.com/join. And Cut Media, Satish Ramsaran, 7968172. He needs anybody who is interested in volunteering and interning and helping. Now that we are on TV, also for the advertising, Felicia Holder, 7694590. If you want to assist with helping to book advertising, reach out to Felicia Holder, 7694590. And if you want to work with us in the production of these shows, because in quick time, we hope, now that we're on 1 night a week, we hope to go 2 nights a week, 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, and get the message out, far out. Yeah? So, and that costs money, and if you would like to assist financially, reach out to Felicia, 7694590. A recommendation from us and an advertisement on the show gets plenty results. So you don't have to be Massey or Macal. You could be a small mid-level business suffering to get your words out. Come to us. The Massey and Macal advertise on Sabga News Network. Yeah. Grab and go. Tomorrow is curry crab and dumpling day and soup day. Saturdays are soup days at Grab and Go, but Woodford Cafe does their amazing curry crab and dumplings and saltfish provision and dumplings. So if you want either of those things, you can book it. If you just WhatsApp 4712888, Precious will book for you. And also, because Benny and them stopped taking orders by about Wednesday. So what we have is it. But if you want to book it, you could get the curry crab is amazing. I mean, we have Gourmet to Go. She does this seafood bowl that is shrimp and crab and mussels and prawns. Is corn and stuff. Is amazing. You could book that too. And then we have about 5 different types of soup, from vegetarian to oxtail and beef mix and cow heel, and can't go wrong. Victoria Foods Grab and Go. 218 food for delivery. And if you send in your delivery order now and what time you want it, they will prepare it and it'll come to you then, wherever you are. 218 food or 4712888. And always, if you're having difficulty with anything like that, you can always message me and I'll forward it to the right people. And I think that's it for me tonight, and that is it for the show. And I want to thank all of you who were here with me, and I want you to not forget that we all have a responsibility to this country. We have a responsibility to ourselves. We have a responsibility, and it is why after the show every night there are people that I trust and respect who I look forward to their message telling me what they thought of tonight's show, what they thought of tonight's message, and it helps me become a better person. And I want to thank them. And you know yourselves. You're watching the show and you know that I look out for the feedback. Yeah. So This is it for me.
Your vote will decide our destiny.
Your vote will decide
What you want to be. Your vote can foretell
our country's fate.
and use it well before it's late. If it is that who you're voting, ready or not, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be only full amount, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that
Change must come about.
just
That's how you vote.
them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they can see, vote them out. Stain your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power.
Terminate the rain. Thank you very much. It's getting late. Tomorrow's another long day. Thank you for joining me. And the next show will be on Monday night with the new format. So until then, have a